Can you please shed some light on that? I'm super interested, like in just learning, at least if it takes only a minute, of that story between the Eucharist or the Lord's Supper and the werewolf being a werewolf. How is that related in that context, in that story of the medieval Europe? Can you please explain?
It's mostly it's metaphysics. It's not like werewolves are. So I shouldn't say it's not that werewolves eat the Eucharist, because there is one really strange folk tale. Who recorded it? Somebody recorded a memorit in which he was asked to officiate at a werewolf baptism or a wolf baptism. I shouldn't say werewolf in that case because it was just, and somebody was carrying around a Eucharist, but putting aside that one specific encounter, it's not so much the werewolf. It's not that werewolves were running around with the Eucharist. It's that in both cases we have something that's putatively one thing, man, bread, but is in essence something else, wolf, Jesus. And the dispute was weird supernatural entities have always been used by everyone, basically across all of humanity, as a sort of springboard for theological reflection on the nature of man and God and animal. So as I like at the exact same time that Christians were debating this, Jews were having a very identical debate regarding the relationship between man's rational and man's animal soul, which occurred, like, Jews and Christians did speak to each other more than is commonly assumed, but obviously the parameters are different because Jews don't eat the Eucharist. The best, like this, there was a very it was a Jewish mystic called Rabbi Eliezer of Worms, who recorded the most extensively about werewolves. And as it became very infamous about half a decade ago, when Rabbi Zechariah Wallerstein, Zeitel, spoke about his accounts of meeting werewolves, and he was like, this is Torah. And a whole bunch of rational skeptics were like, we're going to fight now. You're not allowed to say that werewolves are in the Torah. We need the Torah to be nice and rational, and it can't have werewolves in it. But yeah, like medieval discussions of monsters, and I'm talking not just like Christian, but also Jewish and Jewish, Christian, and Muslim, like in an ecumenical dialogue, had less to do with the monster itself and like talking about like the nature of the monster, like we'll say we are, and more to do with, well, what does this reveal about the world God created for us? This is why the medieval rabbis debated flying camels.